Got to get between these two, both fighting for playoff positioning out west. Nuggets have won their last 9 games against the Warriors. How would it go in this one? Late first quarter. Look at that no look. Whew. Sweet. To Russ, who gets the lay-in. What a dime by Jokic. Nuggets up 10. Later in the quarter, Warriors down by 1. Steph Curry for 3. Warriors go up 2. Next Warriors possession. Look at Steph. Dancing, moving around. Oh, you're not going to stop that. Attacking the paint. Yeah, get fired up. Warriors up 6 at halftime. Early third. Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic for 3. Nuggets down 5. Trying to come back. Jokic here. Another 3. 33 points, 12 boards, 9 assists on the night. Near triple-double. Nuggets down 2. The Warriors swinging it around. Guy Santos to miss. Steph going to come back for 3. Warriors up 15 on the Nuggets. How about more Steph, right? Splits the double team, gets to go plus the foul. Had 36 on the night with 7 threes. He was just everywhere. Look at this right here. There was a 3 there, and then getting it to go there. Plus the foul. Would make the free throw. Had 36 on the night. Warriors win 118-104. First win since 2022 against.
That now they're going to have a chance in a series against any of these teams in the Western Conference. So I'm buying in more to the Warriors, I think, right now as we sit here, than I have at any point.
And they can do it with switch defense. You know, they can play a lot of different things. They rotate well. They cover for each other well. But they can switch. And I think that's one of the things that if you're just looking at the Lakers and how they look in the regular season versus what teams are going to do in the playoffs, if you're a team that can switch everything and sit down and guard, and again, 160 points, nobody's going to guard LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. That's 3 phenomenal guys to get by you one-on-one. But if you can do it just a little bit the way the Warriors can, you cut off the knockout punch of the Lakers. And that's why this series, right now, they're lined up against each other. And this is why this series would be so fascinating, is I think the Warriors just know how to make the Lakers uncomfortable.
They do. And look, you assume you're going to get something better out of Luka if they ended up seeing these guys down the road. But Luka was awful last night. There's no other word for it. Here's what I think happened. Set his entire night, set the tone for his whole night. All he did in the first quarter of the game, probably the first 18 minutes of the game, was hunt fouls. That's all he was doing, was hunting fouls. And he wasn't getting any calls. So, and so you know how Luka is, like that just as you layer the frustration on top of the frustration on top of the frustration, and you know, his mind's all over the place, man. He again, and we've seen it throughout his career, some nights is not as bad and egregious. It was bad last night, this constant, nonstop dialogue with the officials. Starting from the very beginning of the game. He was doing a lot of up fakes. Guys weren't really going for it. He was jumping in and taking these kind of wild off-balance shots, all with the intent of getting a whistle, not with the intent of making the shot. And it got him completely off rhythm. By the time he tried to like find his rhythm and fit more in the flow of the offense, the game had already like gone away from him. Like the game is gone now. You got 4 or 5 guys in this game playing at a really high level offensively. You're not one of them. And like he's still, of course, going to try to make plays down the stretch because he's Luka Doncic and that's what he's used to doing. And it just didn't happen for him, man. Brutal. 6 for 17, 0 for 6 from the 3. You know, he had 8 boards, 7 assists. He's always going to get those kinds of numbers. But in general, I just felt like it was a really subpar offensive performance for him on a night where if he's much better in the first half, maybe this game has a different outcome. But it got to the point where I wasn't even expecting Luka like to inject himself into the game later because he just didn't look like himself at his best. And you know, look, they're going to have a hard time winning games because of his ball dominance and usage. If he has shooting nights like this, they're very susceptible on any night to lose because it's not like LeBron's got the ball all the time and Luka had a rough shooting night off the ball. Like Luka won games like that when Kyrie would have bad nights because Luka had the ball all the time. And what Kyrie did was in short little windows. So you can live with guys like that being off. When the guys got the ball most of the time, you can't survive it. And that's kind of what I felt like last night for the Lakers and Luka. And he's had, look, man, his shooting has been all over the place, but he has a lot of nights that he's been inefficient since he's put a Laker uniform on, and he's going to have to be better when it matters in the playoffs.
So I think you said something that's kind of illuminating right there about Luka, which is that you didn't think at a certain point in the game, and it wasn't the very end, it was maybe the third quarter, at a certain point, you didn't think he was going to get going. It was like you could tell he wasn't. And I think this is one of the things with Luka is that he still has this emotional volatility to him this late in his career that he has to kind of overcome. Oftentimes that emotional volatility gets funneled into this like FU mode and he goes crazy and he gets even extra aggressive. But there are nights when he gets so frustrated that it goes the other direction. Not often, but the Warriors are a team that are going to get physical with you. They're going to throw you off. You know, they're offensive players try to draw fouls on you, you know, getting you off balance. Defensive guys will try to like foul you or get physical with you before you can draw the contact and then get off. And Draymond's great at this. Jimmy's great at this. It bothered him. And then that volatility came in a way that even you, a huge Luka believer, were watching the game and saying, not tonight. He's not going to overcome this tonight.
For sure. And look, here's what's different for Luka in this situation. No matter what the Lakers said and LeBron said from the day he got there about go be you. Go be you. Don't blend in. Be what you were in Dallas. That's why we acquired you. The bottom line is, he's never played with someone like LeBron James that cast that kind of a shadow. I said the same thing about Damian Lillard when he went to Milwaukee the first year. His whole life, he'd been the best player in every team he ever played on. And I'm not saying that, Luka, with this pairing, like Luka's the higher profile player. There's no question. 5 straight years, first team all league. He went to the finals last year. Like, there's no doubt about it. Right now, as we currently sit, that's okay because LeBron cast a shadow that in Luka's mind, there's always LeBron's over there. That's LeBron on the other side of the court. That's not Kyrie Irving. That's not Jalen Brunson. That's not Klay Thompson or anybody else he's played with since he's been in Dallas. That's not what that is. That's LeBron James. So even though they want him to just go, man, be you, and we'll play off of you all night, the bottom line is he knows that there's another great option over there and a guy that's run every team he's ever been on his whole career. So I don't know if like on some nights is some part of that just like he's not completely psychologically free mentally to just go play exactly how he wants to and exactly how he did in Dallas. And I think that's why you're seeing some of these really tough shooting nights out of him because it's just not the same. The way that the shots come, it's not the same mentality for him because of who he's playing next to and the profile that guy has in this league and the guy that guy has historically. So it's a little bit different for Luka. And that's why I think the consistency just hasn't been there. Now, look, man, he has been a great playoff performer. We'll see what he's able to dial up when they get to the postseason. But, last night I thought almost felt like a playoff game going into it. And a lot of it lived up to a playoff game. The effort for sure. And Luka didn't really at any point kind of inject himself into it. Where this next 5 minutes is Luka taking over. He didn't do that last night. And it was